Finally, this was the last class for a while now, said Charlie as he lay down on his bed in his room. That's for sure, said Archie, his roommate. So, Charlie, do you have any plans for the spring break? Actually, yes. I actually have been invited by my parents to go see them back home, since I barely have enough time to see them, all the exams and studies and that being far away from them. Yeah, I hear you on that, said Archie. Though, do you have any plans otherwise when you're going to see them? Um, I don't think so. Maybe just spend time with my family and maybe just, spend time with old classmates or old friends from high school there. Charlie was actually studying it at a college in New York, and he's from Sacramento. It's the same thing as for Archie. But Archie just going to stay behind since he had his family told him that they won't be home for spring break. So he decided to stay there. So, have you told Jane that you're going to be away for a while? Yes, I have actually, and she told me that she is going back home to Atlanta to spend her time with her family. I mean, you two really are pretty close. And to be honest, I didn't expect you two to be this close. I mean, what can you say? I mean, I love her. Yeah, I mean, you do have, in fact, a very beautiful fiancée, said Archie with a smile. Thanks, and, but yeah, she is so beautiful. Archie had actually a girlfriend or fiancée by the name Jane. They had been started dating since their first year of college, but they got engaged during the second year. He loves her so much. And during the last day of before he went off to back home, he decided to spend a little bit of time with Jane. So he went over to her room, and she was there with her roommate, best friend, Sophia. Sophia and Jane were just talking when they heard a knock on the door. Who is it? Oh, Jane. It's me. Charlie. Can I come in? Yeah, sure, come in. So he walked in, and he just started telling them that he will be leaving the next day. Oh, same here, but at least you're coming here to spend time right now, right? Of course. I mean, I will text you and call you when I had arrived and, inform you what I've been doing. Yeah, same here. So they spent the rest of the day together. But the next day, Charlotte took the flight back home to Sacramento. His parents met him at the airport and drove home. They were just happy to see their son. And his is from a wealthy family. Charlie's dad is the CEO of a construction company, and his mom is a successful surgeon. But there was one small detail that his parents was not aware of, that he hasn't even told his family that he was engaged. Well, that was because that he hasn't been able to see them much. Even though he do in fact call them from time to time, but he would have rather been telling that in person. But since his studies have been just taking a lot of toll of him, and when he got home, Charlie's parents asked him, "So, Charlie, how is studying going for you?" It's going well, Mom. It just, a lot of studying and less time for myself, basically, for that. So, no partying? If you mean like those big college parties, no, I'm never much in for that. Though I've been invited a few times, but declined all the time. Though I do in fact for a few times have been having my own party. It's just for me, my roommate Archie, and some other close friends from the uh, the college. But usually, not more than 5 or 6 people. Or just order pizza and just watch some movies and that type of party. Ah, okay, as long as you don't drink and do other unresponsible things, said Charlie's dad, that you know me well enough that I would not even do that kind of things. I'm just making sure, son, that's all. And during dinner, his family had some news. So, um, Charlie, we have something to tell you. Huh? What is it that? Um, you know, we actually have been, well, most likely, most of me. Um, I have been approached by an old friend of mine. Um, um, you remember Marco, right? Marco. All right, your business friend. Oh yeah, what about him? He actually had asked me about his daughter, Natalie. Natalie, I think I have met her a few times before. What about it? Well, we had discussed and we both agreed that you should marry his daughter. What? Said Charlie, shocked and almost spit out his drink. What are you saying, Dad? Are you saying I have an arranged marriage with Natalie? That's pretty much sweetie, said his mom with a smile. Mom, are you in on this too? Well, I mean, you could have just told me about this earlier. I mean, we would rather be telling you in person though, rather being over the phone. And we wasn't really sure if you would be able to come over for a spring break. Well, I mean, this is big news, and Charlie was really, well, he was shocked, speechless. According to him, when he had been met Natalie a few times before, she was a beautiful girl, around the same age. She was never even much his type of person to be he would be dating. They were, in fact, had met a few times over when his parents had invited her family over for dinner from time to time. They have some similar personality or common interest. But in fact, he likes her, but not in the same way. And now that his parents had agreed to set up an arranged marriage with between him and Natalie, without asking his opinion about it, Dad, um, well, have they asked even Natalie if she wants this? Of course, and she said she really wants this. Are you sure about that? I mean, I really hope that they're not forcing her to do it, because if they do, I don't think that it would be an image of love. And may I ask why you're doing this? It's because that we are hoping to making more business with Marco's business and mine. And that makes sense according to his parents' opinion about it. But Charlie was far from even to want to do this in the first place. He was already engaged. But since he never told his parents about this, and after dinner, he went back to his room and he laid down on his bed, he started wondering if he had told his parents about his engagement way before Liz, would this have stopped from even them from maybe to just stop this arranged marriage in the first place? But he wasn't really sure how this would even react, or because he knows that if he had told his dad about his engagement with with Jane, he has no idea how his dad would react. Maybe he would just understand and break off the entire idea from the start, or he would just simply get mad. But Charlie was also really mad and speechless when he was told about this during dinner. So he had no idea. And before dinner ended, he was told that Natalie and Marco are coming over the next day for dinner, so they can talk more about this upcoming wedding. Even though Charlie wanted to stop it, but he had no idea what's going to happen. So the next day, Charlie was just spending most of the time by himself, just walking around in town, trying to get an understanding of this arranged marriage. First of all, he thought to himself, arranged marriage in these days must be so rare, or at least in his thought at least about it. but he never even tried to ask anyone that he knows about his opinion. Even though he did run into some old high school friends, but he never told them about this. In fact, he had no idea how to even mention this. So by that evening, Margot and Natalie came over, and of course, as always, she was beautiful. But during dinner, Charlie felt uncomfortable about this. Not because of Jane's presence or anything, but mostly because of this proposal of him and Natalie getting married. So, Charlie, I heard a lot of good things from you when your dad says you're studying well. Yes, I do actually. So, have you even thought about marrying my daughter? Well, my parents told me about it the day before. Um, I mean, even if I would marry her, if his dad said, I mean, I wouldn't even marry her right now. I mean, I'd rather be finished college first, at least. I mean, you probably would understand that I read just performing and doing a wedding middle of my studies and exams. I mean, I am in my final year of college, and I would have rather been doing a wedding maybe just after I finished college. I mean, doing studies and exams is stressful enough, and adding a wedding in the middle of all that, it's only would make me even more stress, and I probably even won't handle the pressure from college. And not only like, I agree with him. I mean, think about it. If you really want to have him, your son, to even more stress, he would eventually have a mental breakdown. And then Charlie's mom said, well, that is understanding. Then, how about this? Doing this after you finish college, and sometimes afterwards we can start planning for your wedding. Sounds all right again, right idea, said Mark with a big smile. And even though Charlie just wanted to say no, but he was outnumbered. Because both his parents and Charlie and Margot agreed. But even after dinner, when he was told to spend a little bit of time with Natalie before they leave, he asked her if she really wanted to marry him. And Natalie said no. It was actually her dad's idea, and she didn't want to do this. And Charlie understood, and he actually had this feeling. So why don't you just tell your dad just you don't want to? I tried, but he doesn't listen to me, since she said. Well, this is just great. I mean, same thing. I mean, as soon as you have someone in your mind, and Natalie nodded. She did. In fact, she had a boyfriend, and recently he had proposed to her. He said happy news to her, and he did mention that he also was already engaged. She said thanks to that and said hope that it was going well. But the next day, Charlie had still no idea. So he called up his best friend Archie back at the college. Hey, hello, big man. How is it your home back in Sacramento? Said Archie. Ah, this is always the same. Can I tell you something? Sure. What is it? Something has developed over here, and it's pretty big, shocking news. Oh, is it something about your parents? No, both of them are fine. It just uh, you know what? I will tell you when I get back. Are you sure you can just tell me on the phone? Uh, no, it's better I do it in person, and trust me, you won't believe what's gonna happen. Okay, I take your word for it, said Archie. So by the end of the week, it was time for Charlie to go back to college. His parents said this goodbye to him. When he arrived back to his college dorm, Archie gave him a hug and then, as soon as Charlie sat down on his bed, Charlie said, now, please tell me, what is going on? Charlie was silent for a moment. Okay, get this. As soon as I get home, during the first day dinner with my family, they told me that they had arranged a marriage for me. And Archie sat there, dumbfounded, open mouth, and it's like looking big eyes on it. And it's like, are you kidding me? Nope, they literally had set up an arranged marriage for me. I don't know what to say. But have you even told Jane about this? No, I haven't. I mean, I have talked to her on the phone a couple of times when I was away, but I haven't even told her yet. But I'm going to soon. This is really unexpected. I mean, have you even thought of this? No. I mean, when they told me that they had something big to tell me, I probably thought like I was going to be the next one to take over my dad's company after he retires, which I assumed they were at least, but not even the slightest. I have no idea how Jane will react to this. Well, you know, at least she will be like you. Uh, that's more understanding, but you know, you probably have to go to tell her right now. I mean, if she's back yet. Actually, yeah, she came back but a day earlier, actually. I thought I saw her earlier, just about an hour just before you came. She was with Sophia um, at the door. Oh, okay. Let's go see her. So, Charlie went to see Jane. Hey, Sophia, is Jane here? No, she left the room about 10 minutes ago. I think she's just somewhere on the campus. Thanks. Jane, there you are. Oh, Charlie, you're back? Yeah. Um, I had to talk to you. Oh? It's quite important, actually. What is? Well, you better sit down. It's shocking. So she sat down and he did the same. Look, you love me, right? Yeah? And you're happy to be engaged with me? Yeah? Are you sure? Charlie, you're scaring me. What's going on? Are you going to break up the engagement or something? What? No, 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 no. Just want to be clear. Of course I love you more than anything. Please tell me, what is going on? Alright, please don't be mad at me on this one. Promise? I promise. Then he told her. And after he was finished, they did what? Jane almost screamed out. Yeah, I mean, I was shocked myself, said Charlie, and he had his head almost down in his lap. Like, I can't believe it. And you even told them about us? I was going to tell them that day, but I have no idea how my dad would even react. They probably kicked me out of the family dorm, or they probably kicked me out of the well. They probably would stop paying for my college. I mean, that's true. I don't even know what to do. But how did you solve it or anything? Well, I managed to convince them to wait even after college. Well, that's gives you at least a couple of months still. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to do. I mean, you could probably just tell them right after. I mean, how about you go with me back home to Atlanta just after we finish college, and then you can call them from there. Do you think that can actually happen? Yeah, unless that they're finally coming over. I doubt it. They probably even had time. Since my mom is at the surgeon, and who knows if she had to call in for. And my dad's the CEO of this company, and so I have no idea. But do you think that they would? No, I don't believe so. Okay, so for the rest of the few months until they finished college, Jane and Charlie would they did dating from time to time for they went on several dates, and also Charlie decided to keep track on his studying to keep him better on that. And then the day came when they finished college, and sure enough, his parents was too busy to even show up, and that was a good sign for them. Charlie decided just simply to move, and he didn't tell his family about this. So he took a flight with Jane all the way back to Atlanta, since she was the only she had she was still living with her family though back home. She had an older sister and younger brother, and her family loved Charlie. They knew that they were dating, and they were even aware that they were engaged. Jane's family is even well versed themselves. Her dad is the CEO of an IT company called Starlight Tech Incorporated, and her mom is a very successful lawyer. And he decided to simply call his parents as soon after he arrived. And he did. Charlie, where are you? You thought you were to be home today. Unfortunately, no, Mom. I'm actually not even back in New York anymore. What? Where are you? I'm actually in Georgia. Wait, what are you doing in Georgia? I thought you were going home to Sacramento. Um, Dad, Mom, I have something to tell you. This arranged marriage between me and Natalie, it's not happening. What are you saying, son? Of course it will happen. Know that I'm already engaged. This all happened over a FaceTime call. And it was like his parents was just shocked, and his dad was getting red in his face of anger. What did you just say? Dad, I have been engaged with Jane since in the second year of college. We have been dating since the first year. And I'm not breaking up with her because of you want me to marry your friend's daughter. In fact, Natalie doesn't even want to be in this arranged marriage either. I asked her. You lied to me that she was okay with it. In fact, she doesn't want to do this. Oh, how dare you, your ungrateful son! You will take the flight back home right now, as soon as possible, he screamed. Dad, you can say that how much you want, but I'm not changing my mind. I'm not going back home. If you don't come on with home back the next 48 hours, you will be removed from our rail and we won't pay anything for you. We will even disclose your account. Dad, go ahead. I'm not even worried about money anymore. What? How will you even survive? I don't have to worry. In fact, I only have a job. What? I'm working at Starlight Tech Incorporated. Jane's dad Jane's dad is the CEO of the company. What? Her family is really wealthy. Her mom is a lawyer. In fact, Dad, they probably have more wealth than us, than you. So, yeah, I don't even mind, and in fact, I don't even care if you cut off me on the ties of the family entirely. In fact, I'm really happy to be here. So, yeah. Before they could say anything, Jane came on the phone and said, Listen, you should have listened to your son in the first place. Put him in arranged marriage against his will? That's just so low. I can't even go so far. Then her mom stepped in and said, Sir, your son told me all things about this, and I cannot believe how stupid you could be doing this to your only son. You don't step in this. This is family matter. Dad, Mom, you're not my family anymore. I don't have nothing to do with you ever again. So please don't even try to contact me. After this call, I will block both your numbers and so you will not be able to reach me. Goodbye. Thanks for everything, but thanks, but still goodbye. And hang up the call, phone call, and then blocked both numbers right away. Charlie stood there silent by holding his phone in his hand. For once, he felt absolute freedom from his parents. Charlie, are you okay? Asked Jane. And Charlie took a deep breath and said, yeah, I'm fine. I really need to say that to them. I mean, can you blame me not wanting even to be involved with them anymore? And Jane's mom said with a smile, Charlie, you don't have to be doing anything with them anymore. You're welcome to stay here as long as you need to. Thanks. I really appreciate it. So, now, let's talk about your upcoming wedding, shall we? Mom, we just finished college. Can we just wait a little bit more? I mean, we thought maybe doing it in the summer at least, but can we for just to enjoy our time to instead of being finished college? Of course, don't mind me. And for next several months, Archie was told about this and even Sophia, and they were both happy to hear that Charlie had severed all ties with his family. Because if he hadn't been done that, they were only going to be getting worse and the worst. And good thing too that Charlie never told his family where Jane's family lived. But since he did mention her dad's company, so that would have been hard to track that down. But it didn't happen though. And then, around a few months later, during the summer, their wedding was on being hold. But then, to most shocking to all this, even before then, Jane had even asked Charlie if he regretted not to invite his family or his parents to the wedding. But he shook his head and said, no, I don't want even to have them to even show up at all. But that did actually happen. Just before the bride is to, when they were just about to start, suddenly the door opened. And who did show up? Both his parents just walked in. They were dressed as though they were invited. But Charlie said to himself, oh no. But before anyone could say anything, Charlie just said, looked at Jane's dad, who nodded and stood up, and he took another friend of his and they walked up to James' parents and told them to leave quietly, so don't to start any commotion. But his dad was just yelling to stop this wedding. This is not gonna happen. But James, but James' dad's like, this is my future son-in-law, and he doesn't want to have nothing to do with toxic parents. Toxic? Who dared you to say that? Said his mom. But then Charlie just went downstairs to them and said, I told you, never talk to me ever again. So I bigly ask you to leave or I will call the police to head and drag you away from here. So please, leave and never even try to come back to my life. I want you out of my life forever. Then Jane's dad and his friend just dragged him out while screaming that will return. But Charlie's dad, Jane's dad told Charlie that he will have arranged for this with along with his wife's help to have this taken care of by legal way. And that meant straining order. And ever since then, they had even tried. And the wedding went perfectly otherwise without any problems after that. Jane and Charlie was just happy to be together. They even went to Paris for a whole week as a gift from his now parents-in-law. And they just had a great time. But even during this time on their honeymoon, he was just still thinking about his parents. He had no idea if they were even good trying to reach out to him. He was just wondering himself if he had his own family. He just worried that they were trying to reach out to them and do something worse. But Jane confirmed what he told her not to worry about it. So he didn't. And then when he came back home, he started working for his father-in-law's company. And it was really, really good also, because he was good in computers, in programming and all that. And only about a year after they got married, Jane informed Charlie that they were expecting their first child, a daughter, in fact. He was so happy about it. He was really overjoyed that he was going to be a dad. But then it hit him, another fear. What if his parents will somehow find out that they were having their first grandchild soon, and demand that they will have the time to have the right to see their grandchild? But he didn't even care about it at all. And when they told Jane's parents about the news, they were just overjoyed that they're going to have their first granddaughter. And when the daughter was born, they named her Nicole. Even though deep down in Charlie's heart, there was fear that his parents would show up, but it didn't happen. And then, 2 years later, they had a second child, and they had a son, which they named Julian. They even had made both Archie and Sophia as the godfather and godmother to both their children. But even when Julian was born, there was still the same fear within Charlie, hoping that his parents would not even show up. But they didn't happen. Charlie was really happy to at least that his parents now for once for all stayed away. He even told himself, if his parents had accepted Jane by now, maybe that he would allowed his parents to even meet the grandchildren. But since that didn't even gonna happen, he thought to himself, as long as they don't show any remorse about what they so told or said about Jane, he's not going to let them to see their first grandchildren. Even if they did show remorse, he would possibility give them a chance to see them. But until then, he told it not at all. Even Jane and her family agreed. They wouldn't even think it was a good idea because it only disturbed more problems for Charlie and Jane's family. But Charlie never even heard from his family ever again. But he did hear from mutual friends back home that his parents, they stopped talking about their son. So he was just hoping that maybe one day they could agree to show remorse. But according to his own mutual friends back home, it wasn't looking like that at all. But he was happy that they were staying away from his family from this day on. Both Jane and Charlie are just happy now to be married with a true love of all the world and having this amazing family. And this is how Jane and Charlie found a true love, got a big family together. The